Welcome back. In this online video lecture, I'll be teaching you how to solve problems using the ideal gas law, oftentimes affectionately referred to as PIV-NERT. It's PV equals nRT, and it's a law that describes the relationship of these properties of gases. So what I'm going to do first is just run through the variables that you see in this equation, and then I'm going to show you how to use the equation to solve different problems. So we'll just take the variables in order as you see them here in the equation, P, V, and RT. P is pressure. And for this class, we'll be using the units of atmospheres, so the pressure has to be in atmospheres. V is volume. And that's going to have to be measured in liters. N is number of moles, so the amount of the substance, and that's of course going to be measured in moles. R is a constant, so I'm actually going to skip that one for now and go straight to T. And T, of course, is temperature. And the temperature will be measured in Kelvin. It's got to be in Kelvin. Celsius won't work. And now R. R is what's known as the ideal gas law constant. And for this class, we'll always be using the units of atmospheres, liters, moles, and Kelvin. And so for those units, the R value is always going to be 0.082. 0.082. And it does have units, but it's got a really complex unit. The unit on that is atmospheres times liters divided by moles divided by Kelvin. So that whole thing is the unit on that constant. And the way that works out so that all these units will cancel out and you'll get what you want when you solve these problems. So pressure, volume, moles, temperature, and then R is the constant. And basically what's going to be happening is you'll get a problem where you're given all of these except for one, and then you'll be asked to find that one. And so what you may want to do at this point is you may want to go back and revisit how to resolve linear equations. I'm not going to go through every solution of the ideal gas law for every single variable. But just know that you have to be able to solve it so you can get one of these variables by themselves. So like if I wanted to solve for pressure, it's going to be pressure equals moles, the constant, temperature divided by volume. So you should be able to resolve the equation for any of the variables like that. And if you can't, you might want to go review that from the first semester or maybe ask me for a little bit of help there. Okay, well, once you understand what all of the units, all the letters are standing for, all of the all of the properties that are in the equation, it's actually pretty easy to solve these. So whether it's a story problem or it's just flat out given to you, it's not too bad. So let's say I've got a volume of 2 liters and I've got 25 moles, and so that would be N, and my temperature equals let's just go with 273 Kelvin, which is 0 degrees Celsius. What would the pressure be? So you've got a gas and you know the volume of the gas, you know the number of moles of gas, you know the temperature of the gas. You can calculate what the pressure of that gas would be. So you just, basically this is just plug and chug. You take your ideal gas law, PV equals nRT. You solve it for what you're trying to find. And in this example, I'm trying to find pressure. So I have to solve the ideal gas law for pressure. So if I divide both sides by volume, I get pressure equals nRT over V. So for this problem, now I'm gonna throw those values in there. So we've got our number of moles here. It's 25. So 25 times, and then R, you have to remember, is that gas law constant, and it's always, always, always going to be 0.082. So times 0.082. And then we've got temperature, which is in this example 273 Kelvin. And we're going to take all those, multiply them all together, and then we're going to divide by two numbers. We're going to divide by, I'm sorry, one number, the volume, which in this case is, let's see, 2 liters. So 2. So let me pull up my calculator really fast here, and I'll show you how I would enter that in. There's my calculator. Okay, so I've got 25 times 0.082 times 273 divided by 2. Wow, that's crazy. So I didn't pick my variables very carefully here, but if you look at my calculator, it looks like it comes out to a gas with those properties would have a pressure of, my calculator keeps disappearing, sorry about that, a pressure of 279.82 atmospheres, and that's a ridiculously high pressure. So 270, oh crap, I closed the calculator. I think it was 9.82 atmospheres. So, and that's basically all you do. You identify the numbers that you have to put into the formula. You solve the formula for the variable you're trying to find. You plug your numbers in. You enter them into the calculator correctly, and away you go. So that's it. That's how you solve problems using the ideal gas law. Now, on a quiz, not all the problems are going to be like this. They're not all going to just flat out tell you what's what. You might actually get a story problem, so you should be prepared for that. But as always, if you have questions, feel free to ask in class. Try some of the learning opportunities that are in the course. And thanks for watching.